For a few years, I've been studying what mistakes ruin potentially great games and sweaty lobbies. No matter the meta or even the team, there are critical decisions that happen every second that change the course of the game. I have dissected all the things that I used to do wrong, so today I'm going to share with you 5 mistakes most commonly made in Warzone and how to fix them. First one can be the most punishing: underestimating full teams. Not prioritizing targets ultimately is what gets you killed. That's the kill die circle that ruins the momentum. So to solve the problem, we need to learn how to fight multiples. My recommended fix is what I like to call transitional targeting. This skill is all about focus. When you are shooting, who you're shooting first, and most importantly, how to change those gears as the firefight unfolds. To explain this best, I'm going to split this into 3 separate skill sets: slingshot, switch, and stop. The slingshot is the most basic. We engage a target and immediately thirst because they are the only player in the frame. In Resurgence, we immediately gather the ping from that thirst and use centering, positioning, and map knowledge to whip directly at their teammate. We are taking the intel from the first kill and using its momentum for the next push. If we have no ping, we're listening for tack sprinting footsteps reacting to that push. The second skill set is called the switch. This is when things get more difficult. This is when a second enemy appears during the action of shooting the first. We need to prioritize which target to shoot first based on who is engaging you. If you are shooting at an enemy and someone else engages you directly, you have to stop shooting the first one and engage the second. We need to be switching positions and targets, so we are going to down enemy 1 and then change position to re-engage enemy 2. We are not thirsting between knocks because we need that ammo and those precious seconds to knock the second target. The execution of this is all about timing, so we have to learn to control the urge to thirst and re-engage the second target instead. Now what if you can't knock the second enemy? This is called the stop. It's important to note, do not stop moving, stop shooting. This is what I call your nope moment. Ask yourself, is this fight winnable? If the answer is nope, then we need to stop firing and reposition. Practicing this is the most overpowered strategy for learning to fight outnumbered. You can use this tactic to help draw a stacking team apart as they scramble to chase you, isolating the 3v1 into 1v1 so that you can outplay. Fire the weapon to draw their attention because I want them to chase. Speaking of the chase, that brings us to mistake number 2, chasing the break. Experienced escape artists will do everything possible to lose their assailant. They will likely be calling for backup or even leading you right into the opposing team's lap. As a professional instigator, I love to poke the enemy team and then escape in the direction of mine. Regardless, if you're chasing an enemy, they're hitting their nope moment and fleeing the scene. Nope. We need to use predictive positioning to find their location instead of emotionally reacting. Be careful not to be drawn into the chase like these guys because it makes it easy for us to divide enemies up. The third biggest mistake in Warzone is lack of intel. To solve this, we need to master map intel and HUD management. If we know the ins and outs of the map and what is at our disposal at all times, we can make better decisions on the fly. Take these 2 scenarios for instance. I see that I need to be uphill and I have a team holding high ground on the roof of factory. I need to be here. I have quite a few paths out of here. The 2 zips will lead me directly to the team, but will make significant noise. The 2 stairwells take longer and put me directly in the open road. But this ladder is a short distance to gain the fastest route to high ground with 2 pieces of cover for the crossover. So before I even take the first step, I have decided this is my best path to the circle slide. Notice here it completely catches them off guard and we are now on the elevation for the hold. Same thing can be said about this scenario. I've taken shots from tower and I have no self-res. If I continue to peek, I'll probably go down and they have protection, but I move below and prepare for their safe rotation. Their rotation is inevitable, thanks to the mini-map telling me that their position is not in zone. From this vantage point, I can build my defense as they move into the open. Regardless of the direction that they move, I have the ability to apply decent pressure to their rotation.
Here they go.
I'm also communicating their rotation, which brings me to the next mistake, which is useless comms.
2 knocked.
Calling out that a player is broke or one shot or on me or over there are all honestly not very descriptive. While indicating a knock is valuable because it can indicate to your team that the odds are in our favor, the best thing to do is live ping while communicating critical pieces of information. Elevation, a descriptive POI, while communicating the threat through the position of the POI. Calling out Sniper HQ immediately gives my teammates the indication of which way to take defense from. It may sound unimportant, but as skill-based matchmaking elevates your difficulty level, it is critical to communicate for late-game rotations or coordinating pushes on enemy positions. When in doubt, the ping moves with the enemy and cuts out all the questions.
Yes!
The final most damaging mistake, playing overly aggressive. It's easy in Rebirth Resurgence to push with the chaos. Patience is the only path to becoming a better player. Take moments to drink in the information. Use critical seconds to take inventory of your weapons and plates. Use a ping to indicate danger and assess rotations briefly. Ultimately, time is not on your side inside the shrinking circle, but the more you practice absorbing information, the faster your decisions will become. Play your advantages with cover and movement. Use movement as a defense instead of solely for offense. Take that information in when you don't have it and wait for intel and move with that intel. Playing overly aggressive in the endgame will get you killed. Those who are patient and learn to stay cool in tense situations are the ones that come out on top. Using everything around you from your position to your cover to the loot that you find for unique situations can absolutely change the outcome. Even in a 3v1 scenario, one can outplay if they use the items around them. You have to trust player instincts and be ready to strike when the opportunity is right. Practice and refine your nope moment, develop the escape tactics alongside a healthy stop and start to your gunfights. In the end, use patience because if you drop into Rebirth Island, you're gonna need it. If you've learned something in today's video, please leave a like and subscribe. Keep building, keep adapting. Sit Rep out.